Hey everybody, it's Crystal, and I wanted to put together a little quick video just to kind of give you some thoughts about this new momentous shift of Saturn going into Aquarius. It's really big. I mean, for those of you that have been studying astrology for a long time, you know that Saturn only changes signs every 2.5 to 3 years. For those of you that are just beginning to learn more about astrology, I just want you to trust me and know that when a big player, I like to call him the big daddy, when he changes signs, it really is a huge shift in not only our consciousness, but in our energies, the energies that surround us, and of course, the events that are happening in our life. Whenever you really want to get to one of the cruxes of your matter, and we have many different cruxes that are going on, you want to kind of look and see where Saturn's affecting you. So, for those of you that are interested not only in the now, but in where you're going, it's always very telling to kind of find out, well, where is this next Saturn phase going to affect me? And let's just kind of honor going back for a moment because Saturn entered the sign of Capricorn in December of 2017. So he has been breaking down structures and rebuilding them in the Capricorn style since that time. And if you look back and you feel that period, especially like 2018, 2019, and even where you stand right now, if you feel that that's been momentous in your life, maybe there's been a lot of breakdowns in order for rebuilds, you probably were caught up in his last cycle. But now Saturn's moving on into a totally different arena. He's moving into the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is, while Saturn's best friend forever, because there's always a planet that works with a sign, is indeed Capricorn. Aquarius is actually works very nicely with Saturn as well. Because before Uranus was discovered, the ruler for Aquarius was actually Saturn. So they do work well together. And something that's going to be beneficial coming out of the Saturn moving into Aquarius cycle for all of us is that there's going to be more of a collective emotion, meaning it's not necessarily going to be about me taking care of business on my own or taking care of my own business. It's about what kind of business do I need to do for, the group? What kind of business do I need to do for the collective? What kind of business or foundation do I need to set in order to, find my new community? And I really believe that, we've become so detached in so many ways, right? But I believe that Saturn moving into Aquarius is going to help us find that community. Now, with that being said, Aquarius is a detached sign. So what does that mean? It means that we're going to be able to kind of personally detach from certain situations, especially those of us caught up in the Saturn and Aquarius cycle, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. But we'll be able to detach from some personal situations and kind of, operate for the greater good, operate for the group. And again, you're going to be seeing Saturn moving, changing signs is going to be evident not only in our personal lives, but it's going to be evident out there on a global plane as well. So you're going to see a lot more grassroots movements. You're going to see a lot more kind of drive for finding your community. I think we're already starting to see it right now, to be honest. And but I think it's going to be even more profound. I think if you're going to want to succeed with something, you have to, gather your peeps in order to do it. And it's not a time, as we look out, it's not a time to just operate solo. It's a time to really, find your community, find the cause that you believe in, find the people that you want to hang out with, like-minded people. And start thinking about this as Saturn tests the waters in this new phase of development. I also think that there is going to be an even greater wave of acceptance of the alternative. I also think that things like astrology are going to be even more accepted. Other things that are potentially, different to people, or that have been different, it may not be so different anymore. And we're already seeing the rise of spirituality in ways that people are using tools to feed their souls. But I think it's going to be even greater. And also medicine, I think, from a greater standpoint, you're going to see a lot more alternative methods being used, alternative cures, people being open to that because they don't want to stick with the traditional. Even though Saturn is a traditional planet, he's kind of breaking bounds when he goes into Aquarius, and he's asking us to look at non-traditional remedies or solutions. Now, let's get a little bit into the personal, and this is where I've kind of showcased it out in your horoscopes. But just in generalities, Saturn, of course, will affect the sign of Aquarius the most profoundly, and Leo, because Leo is Aquarius's opposite. So those of you born with either Saturn in Aquarius, you'll have your Saturn return. Depending on where you are with the return, is it the first Saturn return? Is it your second Saturn return? And those of you that have Saturn in Leo will also be going through what's called a Saturn opposition, Saturn opposing your Saturn. So that's another momentous thing where Saturn is asking you to look at, what have you done over the last 14 years? Because Saturn moves in sevens. And what have you done over the last 14 years? And, are you ready to go to the next level, or are you going to, are you going to continue to make it harder for yourself? And again, anybody who's going through Saturn transits or dealing with Saturn, he is challenge, he is patience, he is achievement, but he's achievement in a way where you've worked hard for it and you have been wise and patient. And it's not that he's not luck. You've worked for it, and he usually makes you, go the long way around. Something else to think about or to consider is if you are a Taurus, you also will be feeling, the pull and the challenge and the restructurizing of Saturn on a profound level. And also if you are a Scorpio, you will be feeling it, because Taurus and Scorpio also are squared by Aquarius. And, these are signs that are also going to be needing to restructurize in some kind of way. And again, it's not a bad thing. Anybody who's gone through a Saturn transit, maybe you don't want to go through it again, but when you look back on it, you're like, wow, I really made some great changes that I never would have made unless I was prompted to do so. And that's what Saturn's doing. He's prompting you to make changes. And so it's important for us to take this period of him testing the waters in Aquarius, his new home, his new, place where he's going to be living in over the next several years. He's going to be testing the waters from the end of March. He actually goes in my time zone, and I'm in the Eastern time zone, he goes in at 11:59 on the 21st of March, so right after the equinox. But so from that period until the beginning of July, he will be testing the waters of Aquarius. So kind of see what's going on out there in the universe, see what's going on from generalities, see what's going on in your own lives. Where's some prompting? Where is events heightening? Where do you think you might need to put in some muscle? There's going to be a little bit of hints, and potentially achievements as well, because there's going to be people who will find achievement out of the Saturn moving into Aquarius, and that's going to be the air signs. We've got Gemini, we've got Libra, and Aquarius as well. You will also receive achievement. It's not just about challenge. Anyway, this is just some thoughts that I wanted to share as we immerse into this very new cycle. I think it's amazing and exciting. I've been thinking about it so much over the past month, and now that it's finally almost arrived, I'm really eager to see what it will bring. And as far as a society moving ahead, I think it's really going to be helping us, and I think it's going to be allowing us to get a little bit more broad-minded and help us find the community that we really need, to help us, help us, kind of showcase our light and, expand it a little bit too. So take a look at what I've written out for your sign, and, good luck with where the new Saturn cycle takes you. Bye-bye, everybody.